warmly welcome you to day 3 first session of our 6-day FDP program. As we move on into the third day of this enriching journey, I hope you all have found the past session insightful and engaging. It is my pleasure to introduce to our speaker for this session, Mr. Rahul Sharma, a highly experienced software instructor from Ardent Computing Private Limited. With many years of experience in software training and application development, Mr. Sharma brings with him a deep understanding of how theoretical concepts translate into real-world solutions. So now I would call upon Dr. Arnab Chatterjee sir, co-coordinator of ATAL FDP program, to felicitate him with the flower bouquet. We are delighted to have you, sir. Now I would request you to continue with the session. Thank you.
Is it audible? Good morning. Okay, so before starting with cloud computing and
next.
So when we are referring to cloud basically, so what does basically cloud mean? Okay. Can I just have any answers if possible? What does actually cloud mean? Whenever we are referring to clouds, what does it mean? Sorry. But we can store the data in our system, na? That also can be done. So is it a cloud? Is it a cloud? If we are storing the data in our local system, right? So can we say it is a cloud? But we generally store the data in our Google Drive. Is it a cloud? Is it a cloud? So there is some difference, no? There is some difference. Let's compare, if you just compare our local system with the Google Drive or something like that, or iCloud, whatever. Is there any difference? So can we figure out the difference? What is the difference? What is actually the difference? See, the most important thing is that cloud basically refers to the, I will show the practicals also, okay, but I have just distributed this system in such a way that I will do some of the theories and I will also demonstrate the practical, otherwise it will not be beneficial. Like cloud basically refers to the remote server that stores and processes data over the internet. Means here we are not managing any servers or we are not managing the machines. Okay, the machine we are actually taking from some other service providers. Basically we know these server providers. Okay, it can be anything. It can be AWS, which is highly popular, right? Because it was launched in the year about 2006. Then we don't have GCP, Google Cloud Platform. We don't have, or long after that Microsoft Azure. That is also a cloud platform, isn't it? So lots of service providers are there, but we know the name of AWS because it is highly popular, isn't it? But when we are talking about cloud, we are actually referring to what? We are actually referring to the remote servers. We are not maintaining the machines. And remember, those machines which is actually maintained by AWS, which is a service provider, okay? So they don't have any keyboard or they don't have any mouse attached to the particular machines. Okay, those are all remote servers. Right, we are accessing it over the internet. What we are doing and how we are doing that I will tell you afterwards. But actually what? It is referring to the remote servers that stores and processes data over the internet. Okay, that stores and processes data over the internet instead of our local system or local computer or devices. Now these servers are located in the data centers. Okay, these servers are located in the data centers. So we know that basically what is data center? In data center we have got basically the physical servers. What is a data centers? In data center basically we have physical servers, na? Yes or no? Right. So if we are just referring to Amazon or AWS, Amazon Web Services, they have got multiple availability zones. Okay, they have got multiple regions. Today near about there are 36 to 39 regions all over the world, AWS. Okay, regions are basically what? These are the geographical areas, okay, where we have multiple availability zones. Now what are these availability zones? That will also I will tell. That availability zones has got several data centers, okay, right? Several data centers, but those data centers are actually isolated. Getting the point? So, cloud referring to the remote servers where we are not storing the data on our local system. We are storing the data somewhere on the remote servers, and these servers are actually located in data centers around the world. Okay. Now, moving to the next part, we can just think it of as a renting space or services to someone else powerful computers which you access via the internet. Now just I am giving you a simple example. Okay, try to understand. Suppose if you are having a company and in that company you have just bought 50 laptops, huge configuration laptop. But whatever the configuration or what is the infrastructure that you have tried, there might be a chances that you might utilize the complete infrastructure. Okay, and there might be also a chance that you might not utilize the complete architecture or the infrastructure that you have tried. Okay, so whenever you are utilizing it, that is okay, that part is okay, doesn't matter. But when you are not utilizing it, but you have paid for the infrastructure, no? Yes or no? You have paid for the infrastructure. Similarly, these things you don't have to do anything. You have to pay that much only, how much you require. Okay, that is required. One means it's like pay as you go. Right? You don't have to buy the infrastructure because infrastructure is provided by the third party. We talk about AWS now. AWS is what? It is basically infrastructure as a service. It is providing the infrastructure. Yes or no? It is providing us the infrastructure. We are just doing what? We are just providing a value or we are paying some money for what? The infrastructure that we require. We don't require the complete infrastructure. We are just paying according to our requirements. Okay. So infrastructure is actually provided by the AWS itself. Okay, that is what we call as infrastructure as a service, isn't it? Now, when we are talking about cloud computing, we know what is cloud. Those are basically remote servers. We are referring to the remote servers, right? We are referring to the remote servers. But what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is actually delivery of the services. Like somebody told that, he told us that we are actually going to do what? We are going to store the data. So whenever you are buying some machines, right, or whenever you are paying for a machine or you are creating a machine, you are creating a virtual machine basically. Yes or no? Generally we create an instance, no? We don't have the servers right here, isn't it? Yes or no? So when we are paying for a machine, we are generally creating an instance. It's a part of virtualization itself. Yes. So cloud computing is basically what? It is the delivery of computing services like servers, storage, databases, networking, okay, software over the cloud. Over the cloud. That is what is called as computing. Means how you are utilizing the resources. Getting the point? Now, instead of buying and managing the physical servers, you use resource from the cloud providers. Now, these are the service providers. Okay, they are the service providers basically. Apart from this also, there are other service providers also. I have not mentioned the name, like IBM Cloud is also there. Oracle Cloud is also there. Okay, but top three I have mentioned over here. The first one I have mentioned as AWS. Okay, the second is Microsoft Azure. But Microsoft Azure is mostly used as a private cloud. Okay, private cloud. Why it is used, I will tell you afterwards. Okay, and the third one is Google Cloud Platform. That came later, but still it is in use. These are the top three service providers which are providing the cloud services. Okay, so this is what we are referring to the cloud computing. We are referring to cloud computing. Now, moving to the next part, I told about this, the infrastructure as a services. So whenever you are building a company, just for an example, you need an infrastructure, na? Yes or no? You need an infrastructure. You need a servers. You need the machines, right? You need to have some storage also. Yes or no? Like I will give a simple example. Like if you just go 10 years back, so the configuration of the machines that we have today, do we have 10 years ago, 10 years back? Do we have? So near about 10 years ago, what type of configuration generally we have? We have nearly about 500 GB of hard disk, yes or no? Right? And some dual core processor. If I am not wrong, maybe it is something like this. But today we are having like i5 and i7. And near about we are having 1 TB of hard disk. Tomorrow maybe it's going to be around 2 TB. After that it will be around 4 TB. And if you don't have a capacity over here, then we will approach a data center. So is it a fashion to pay more? Of course not. We have that much data now. We are utilizing that much data. We have that much data. So according to the data, the processing power is also increasing and the storage is also increasing, right? So here we see we require that infrastructure. Yes or no? Otherwise, how we will store the data and how we will process the data? Yes or no? So similarly, just have a look. I have written here. There are three service models in cloud. Okay, one is called the infrastructure as the service. Take a simple example of AWS. Okay, AWS. So whenever you are approaching a cloud platform, okay, or whenever you are approaching any service provider, right? Whenever you are approaching any service provider, what do we want from them? We want the infrastructure, no? We want the infrastructure. If you are creating a virtual machine, that virtual machine has got a RAM, it has got a storage, it has got a processor. Yes, that virtual machine has got. So we are demanding what? We are demanding the infrastructure, no? We are demanding the infrastructure. So who is providing us the infrastructure? That infrastructure is actually getting provided by what? AWS, or you can say it is getting provided by Microsoft Azure, right? If I am not wrong. So that is provided by AWS, or Microsoft Azure, and any of the service provider. So IaaS, it's an infrastructure as a service where you are renting raw computing resources like service, storage, etc., etc. Example AWS EC2. Okay, so EC2 is actually basically elastic computing cloud. Okay, I will tell about EC2 afterwards. Okay, I will tell you about it. But this is about the infrastructure. This is about the infrastructure. Okay, we are just renting the infrastructure. But are we renting the complete infrastructure? The answer is no. We are renting how much we require. Yes or no? So this is the difference between a local machine and between a server that we are renting on a remote. Okay. Moving to the next part. Any question till here? Any question? This is pretty clear. Now moving to the next part. Moving to the next part. This is about the platform as a service. So what we are talking about platform as a service? Platform of a service means tools for developers to build apps without managing the infrastructure. Okay, platform as a service. So whenever you are developing any mobile application, so where do we host the mobile application? Generally, if it is an Android, okay, we generally install what from our Google Play Store. We install an APK file, the application package, right? So where is that application basically? It is on the Google Play Store. Yes or no? Suppose you are just hosting a web platform, okay, or you are hosting a website. Suppose that website is actually built on Python. Right, so you need to host that website. Now, otherwise, how it will be accessed globally? It is not possible to host it on a local system and access it globally. Is it possible? The answer is not. So, whenever you are trying to host that particular application on any platform, where you will host a Python application, generally you basically go for Heroku. It's a cloud platform where we basically host Python applications, right? So, what is Heroku? What is Heroku? simple example or an application which is running on cloud. I will simply say one example, that is a Gmail. It is running on Google server, na? Gmail. So software as a service means ready to use application over the internet. Ready to use application over the internet. Okay, I have given lots of things. We just basically go for Google Doc, na? Google Doc. We just mentioned Google Sheet also, which can be shared across multiple platforms. Okay, so multiple people you can share it. So this Google Doc, Google platform, what are all these things? Everything is actually software as a service. They are ready to use, but they are on a Google platform, and the infrastructure is also provided by Google. Right? One more simple example I will give you. We just use Netflix to view movies and all these things. So do we need to install Netflix over here? We just access it, na? Do we download the movie? If we access Netflix, do we download a movie over here? No, you just need to have an internet connectivity. But you are browsing the movie on Netflix. You are not downloading the movie. Right? You are not downloading the movie. You know, Netflix is itself, it is taking the service from AWS. Means the infrastructure is provided to Netflix by AWS. Okay, so for Netflix, AWS will be the infrastructure as a service. But for us, Netflix is actually what? It is a software as a service. Yes or no? Because we are utilizing a ready-made software. No? We are just viewing the movies, once done, completed. Right? So any doubts between these 3 points, these 3 models, infrastructure, platform, and some software as a service? Any questions?
Example of the platform as a service, what was the example?
Platform as a service, you can take example, Durgapur. Hi, Durgapur, it's a cloud platform. Okay, I will just, you can just Google once. Okay, you will get much more clear. Durgapur, it's a, you can post the platform here. You can take an example like, you can take the Google Play Store. Okay, but on what we do on Google Play Store, that cannot be done on here. It's basically suitable for Python.
For Netflix?
Netflix is it's borrowing from AWS, no?
For the filmmakers, Netflix can also be platform as well.
Which one?
The filmmakers who are deploying.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay. Any more questions still here? Shall I proceed? Okay. Now moving to the next part, I have given some more examples about the software as a service. Okay. Now, this is the cloud architecture. So whenever we are, this is a very simple cloud architecture. Okay, I have not worked into very depth. This is a very simple cloud architecture where I have divided into 2 parts. One is the front end and the back end. Whenever we are creating any application, we know one part we have what? A front end with which the client is actually interacting, or the user is basically interacting. We have a good user interface, right? We have multiple options with which the user can interact, right? And what is the backend? Here, when we are talking about the backend, the backend we are actually mentioning as the infrastructure itself. Backend is actually what? The service which is provided by the third-party service provider. Yes or no? That is the backend. So see, I have written over here the security, right? So in AWS we have got security like the data is encrypted. Okay, the data is encrypted. So some sensitive data is also tokenized, like you have got some bank account or you have got some password or something like that. They are tokenized also. Okay, so there are lots of securities in the cloud, right? So services, storage, application. So this all comes into the backend. So when we are referring to the backend, we are basically referring to the services which is actually provided by the service provider itself, or you can say the infrastructure itself. Getting the point? Okay. And front end, basically when we are referring to the front end, what it is the client infrastructure. It is the client infrastructure. So until and unless a client gets a user interface, right, the client will not be able to interact with it. No? Yes or no? So when we are referring to the front end, this is basically the client infrastructure. Getting the point? This is basically the client infrastructure, right? So I have divided just into these 2 parts. One is the front end part and in the back end part. This is basically the architecture, okay, of the cloud. In layman's terms, this first architecture. You can just break it into some multiple parts also. But till now, I have written this part. Now, after this cloud architecture, after the architecture, from where we will get these services? When we are talking about cloud and all these things, we have gathered enough knowledge about this cloud and all these things, right? But from where we are going to get all these services and how we are going to utilize these services? Yes or no? From where we are going to utilize these services? So everybody has heard about the name AWS, Amazon Web Services. So AWS is basically going to give us the service, right? We are going to utilize the service. Now the infrastructure is also given by AWS itself. Okay, and the UI will also be provided by the AWS itself. Now, when we are talking about AWS, so creating an account, if you create an account on AWS, okay, right now I am not going to create that account, okay, because I already have an account, I will just show it to you. But whenever you create that account, right, you require a debit card, they will basically deduct 2 rupees, they will refund also. Okay, but be very cautious while using, because ultimately they send a huge bill. Okay, that you have to pay. So you have to be very careful while using these services. Okay, and one more thing, they now right now previously they don't go for KYC. Okay, but today they are actually going for KYC. Right. So any of your document, valid document provided by the government, you can provide it for a KYC. Okay, voter card, PAN card, whatever. Okay, they are actually utilizing it. So you require for a KYC. After that, account will be created. Okay, account will be created. Always create an account as a root user, right? As a root user. So whenever we are creating an account as a root user, right? So how to create the account? I told, and that is not at all difficult to create an account. It is very easy. Anybody can create an account, provided you should have the necessary credentials with yourself. That is the only difference. By creating an account on Google and creating an account on AWS. Okay, it requires some valid documentation, otherwise nothing else is required. Right? So AWS, we are going to take the service from AWS. Right? So we understood what is a cloud, what is cloud computing. We understood about the 3 models of the cloud. Okay, but how to utilize all these services, how to use these services, practical is highly necessary, otherwise the things will not be implemented. Now, whenever we are talking about Amazon Web Services, just have a look. I have written that Amazon Web Services is a cloud computing platform developed by Amazon, offering a wide range of on-demand services such as computing power. On demand. How much you require, you can buy. Okay. And the storage, databases, networking, machine learning. Because why these things I have written? Because it is only, there is no one service in AWS. There are multiple services in AWS. Okay. Like till 2020 or 21, they have got near about 206 services, but today it has increased a lot. There are lots of services in AWS. Okay, multiple things. If you want to go for machine learning, you can go. If you want to go for relational database management system, there is RDS service. Okay, if you want to go for storing the data, okay, there is S3 bucket. Right, lots of other services are there. Okay, so it is launched in 2006, and AWS is the most widely used cloud platform globally, used by startups, enterprises, governments, and developers. Lots of things. Okay, now how to go for it? I will tell about it. Yes. Any question? Next, moving to the next part. See, clouds are basically of 3 types. After this, I will go to the practical part. The first one is called actually a public cloud. So you can consider AWS as the public cloud. A simple example, genuine example I am giving you. AWS is a public cloud. See, I have written about public cloud. So public cloud is a type of cloud computing where services and infrastructure are owned and managed by a third-party provider, and it is delivered over the internet. Take an example of AWS. It's a public cloud. And these services are shared among multiple customers. But each customer's data and workloads remain secure and isolated. It doesn't mean that my data will be shared with you. If that happens? No. So you can simply take an example, or you can visualize like AWS as a public cloud. I have written some more definition about it. Okay, like owned by, or you can say like access, cost model, scalability, maintenance, total, each and everything. Okay, you can consider it as a public cloud. You can consider this part as a public cloud. Now, when we talk about private cloud, now what is the difference between a public and a private cloud? So we understood what is public cloud, but when we are talking about private cloud is not shared. Remember, just I said that if this particular college has got its own data center, will it share it with any other college? The answer is no. This is private to this particular college. That is a private cloud. Okay, that is a private cloud. Like simple example, I will give it as OpenStack. It is a private cloud, OpenStack. So OpenStack is not used by everybody. OpenStack is mostly it is used by, or mostly not, it is only used by NASA. They have their own cloud, OpenStack. It is not shared across multiple platforms, or it is not shared by other. It is shared by NASA itself. That is their public cloud. Okay, that is a public cloud. Right? That is a, that is a private cloud. That is a private cloud. And shared across multiple organizations. It is specific to a particular organization, right? And one more type of cloud is there, that is called hybrid. Now what is hybrid? Which has got a feature of private also and public also. Means it is public to this particular college, but it can be shared by college to any other organization also. That is a part of hybrid itself. Okay, hybrid. So that hybrid example I can give it to you as a, you can say Oracle has also got a cloud, right? So Oracle cloud is also, it's public also. They also use it in a hybrid mode. They also use it as a private also. Okay. So this is basically when we refer to the three types of cloud. So one is the public, the other one is the private, and the third one is a hybrid. Okay. So these are the three types of cloud. Now, before moving to AWS, okay, I will just give a simple introduction to something called EC2 instance. Okay, the name is very short, but mostly whenever you will spend most of the time on AWS, you are going to spend most of your time on AWS using this, on this EC2 instance. Okay, most of you might have heard about it. So elastic compute cloud. So I am talking about cloud service, na? So right now when we will create a virtual machine, okay, when we will create a virtual machine, that means what? You are renting it from AWS, right? That will have some specific configuration, and our machine will be created. That's it. We will have a good UI through which we can utilize our resources. Yes or no? So we are going to create a EC2, means elastic compute cloud. Means it is an instance, is a virtual server in Amazon's scalable compute platform within the Amazon Web Services cloud, and it provides a resizable compute capacity in the cloud. But remember that resizable compute capacity is basically payable. It is not free time. If you want to resize everything, we cannot go for free, no? Whatever we are eligible, that we will get for free. But I have written there resizable can be paid. So you have to be very careful as per your convenience. And allowing users to run various applications and workload without the need to manage physical hardware. Okay, without need to have physical hardware. Like I will give you a simple example. Like here, if you consider there are 30 people. Okay, and I have got a server. And every 30 people is having 30 machines, right? So I need to install, suppose I need to install Git. Yes or no? Suppose I need to install Git. If I need to install Git, then what I have to do? I have to approach every computer, na? Yes or no? So it can take 1 month to install Git only. Or not 1 month, but at least it will take 1 week. Okay? If this full chair is full, then it will take near about 1 week to just install Git in every system. Right? So is it feasible to install in every system, go to every system and install Git? Is it possible? It is possible, but is it reliable? Not at all. So lots of things are there, tools are there by which we can manage all these things, right? But for that, we require what? We require 40 computers, that is our infrastructure. We require 40 computers, and now suppose there are 40 computers but only 15 people came. So 25 wasted, but we have paid for that infrastructure, no? So here, that thing will not happen. You have to pay only for the 50. Okay? You don't have to buy rest 25. So these things we don't need to manage on cloud. So everything is going in a virtual manner. Okay? Everything is going in a virtual way. Here also when we are creating a EC2 instance, that means what? We are doing some virtualization. No? We are creating a virtual machine. We are renting a small part from the bigger part of server of AWS. Yes or no? That's what we are doing. No? That AWS is a huge, it is a giant, and we are just renting a small part from it. We are just renting a small part from it. That is what we are telling that it is an instance. Yes or no? That's why the name is instance. So we are just renting a small machine from that particular huge service. Okay. Now, how to go for all these things? EC2 instance and all these things. Any question with EC2 instance or anything? Everything is clear till here, the theory part. Now let's go for implementation, otherwise we'll forget the theory. Okay. register, okay, whenever you create a new AWS account, always basically create as a, I'm telling you, see, sign up for AWS, always sign up as a root user, okay. Two things you will get: sign up as a root user, okay, and one more thing will be there, identity, IAM. You will see something called IAM, identity access management. So that is actually for a restricted part, okay, don't go for that. Go for a root user. If you go for a root user, you will get every access, right? You will get every access. So you can simply sign up. They will send a verification email, and after you verify your email, you can go for the next process. The next process will be the payment process. After the payment processing, you can go for your, it will simply take you to login. Then next will be the document verification. After document verification, done. No other things will be charged, okay. And if you already have an account, you can sign into existing AWS account. You can sign into existing AWS account. After signing into existing AWS account, you will get an interface. You will get an interface like this. See, always sign in using root user email, okay, not IAM. Sign in as a root user email, right? If you are a root user, you want to restrict the access to somebody else, or you want to create that in your action that person is going to perform the task, then you can create one instance as a IAM for that particular user, okay. But if you are a main user, you can go for the root. So root user, I will take my email address. It will ask for MFA code. So MFA code you will not get on email, okay. You have to download Google Authenticator. From that Google Authenticator app, you will get the email, okay, or you will get the code. Google Authenticator, you will get the code, okay. Google Authenticator, you have to authenticate. You have to download Google Authenticator. You have to verify the MFA authentication option, okay, using a QR code that will be provided by AWS itself, right. So this is basically the console. If you want the services which you are using readily or often that you use services, you can add it as a widget, okay. You can add it as a widget, whatever. Suppose I am using EC2, you might not use EC2, you are using S3, okay, or you are using RDS, relational database system. You can go for it, right. So from here you will get all the services, okay, all the services. You can click on all the services, right. Lots of services are there. There is services for what you say, machine learning. There is services for IoT, okay. There is services for RTS. There is services for generative AI. Each and everything it is there. But right now I will just show the most important part which you require mostly when you work with cloud, and that is basically the EC2 instance, okay. EC2 instance. So the name is very small, but the work is not small. I am just showing you EC2 instance. So here you see, here we have the dashboard, right? Here you have the dashboard. Now once you click on the dashboard, can you see what is my instance? What are my instances? Instances basically what? How many instances are running? 0. And I just created, okay, just keep here. It is already 2. I will tell you what is keep here. Okay, I will create it once again and I will show it to you, right? The commands are basically a bit crucial. So what I have done, I have written everything over here. I will share this tutorial, right? I will share this tutorial afterward. Now, when you are creating a EC2 instance, whenever you are creating a EC2 instance, means we are creating a virtual machine, right? You are creating a virtual machine. So you will not get any machines over here. So the most important thing that you have to do is you have to click on launch instances, right? Launch instances. Now give a name to the server. Give a name to the server. Like suppose I am just creating a it. Okay, but be very relevant with the charges. Okay, you have to see the charges, right? And you can use Amazon Linux also, but I will take Ubuntu. And when you take the Ubuntu machine, you can see that the free eligible tier is automatically given over here. Okay, the free eligible tier is given over here, right? So Ubuntu server, the version is actually given, SSD volume is also given, each and everything is given over here. And this is the architecture provided, right? This is the architecture provided. And this is the instance type. This is also free tier eligible. Now the instance that you are going to create, or the machine that you are going to create, this is going to be this is the architecture for that particular machine. Okay. So if you want some more hi-fi configuration, that also you can do, but that would not be free. Okay. So charges are basically applicable. You see over here, charges are actually applicable. Okay, charges are applicable. So as per your convenience, you can go for it, right? But the charges you have to see. So here you see, this is actually T3 micro, and it is a free eligible. You can see the on-demand charges over here, right? So be very crucial with all these things, because they basically send the bill. Now let's create a key value pair. So here we are going to create a new key. You know what is a new key? Actually, suppose this is like, actually it's a token. Whenever you just create a key, it is like a token. It's like a token. Suppose when I am connecting to this router, or I am connecting to the internet of this college, definitely I require that SSID and the password. I require it, otherwise will I be able to connect? So that is actually acting as my token. So similarly, here this key value pair is going to act as a token. If you suppose you are creating a server, and with that particular server you are going to connect multiple servers, you require this token. Okay, so it will be like a token itself. So you can create a key value pair over here. You can provide a name and anything. Okay, doesn't matter. So just give a key value pair name, right? Just give a key value pair name. So the key value pair will be like day 1, something like this. Today is day 1. Okay, so day 1, and the encryption will be RSA. We know this is an encryption algorithm. RSA, AEC, all these things we know, right? So always go for PEM. PEM. Why I am telling you always go for PEM? Because we can do SSH. Okay, SSH we can do. Okay, SSH. Right? We will connect this instance via SSH, na? We'll do SSH. So we don't need to download SSH or all these things, because if you are using Windows 10 or above, SSH is by default given. But if you are going to use below Windows 10, you have to install the SSH. Otherwise, you won't be able to work. Right? So we are going to do SSH. So let it be PEM. And if you are using below Windows 10, then you can go for .ppk. For that you require another software installed in your computer, that is PuTTY. Okay, for that you can connect. Right? So we don't require, because mostly everybody has got Windows 10 or above that. Yes or no? So PEM, and the moment you create the key value pair or key pair, that key will be automatically downloaded. So see, the moment you create the key pair, so can you see it is downloaded over here? Now if I go to the download section, this is my PEM file. Now if I just open it with Notepad, you can see the key. This is the key. Okay, this is the key. Getting the point? This is the key. Okay, so no problem. Okay, we will look into this afterwards, right? What we are going to do with this key and everything, we will see all these things. Now suppose this is day 1 I have created, and here you see one most important thing, that is the network settings. Okay, here we have created a security group. So let AWS create a security group itself. Okay, and it allows SSH traffic from this is anywhere. This is anywhere. Okay, if you means from anywhere you can access this machine from any IP. If you say that I want to access it from my IP, so your IP is actually given. So this is the IP address and the last one is the port number. Yes or no? So whenever you are trying to access this machine, okay, by default one port will be allocated. So remember, in the security group, the by default port that will be allocated is 22. Automatically it is done by AWS. Okay, and here you see from anywhere, or if you want to give some custom IP, you can give your custom IP also, that from this machine I want to access it. That can also be done. Okay, so leave it from here. Either you can go for my IP or you can take it from anywhere, doesn't matter. We don't want to allow We are creating one machine. How many instances we are creating? One. Okay, one. So this is the configuration storage. 1 into 8 GB. Okay, so you can see over this is the root volume. This is the root volume. Now we will click on this launch instance. So once you click on the launch instance, you can see our server, our computer is actually getting ready. Right? Our computer is actually getting ready. So we have a success. Let's get back to the instances. And when you go back to the instances, you can see your main server is actually running. So this is the computer that we have created. So you can see how fast AWS is, and it's done. Your computer is created. Now you are able to perform tasks on all these things. Whatever you want, you can install, you can work on it freely. Okay, so the instance has been created. Now you can see it is running, but in the most cases it shows it is pending. So if it is pending, you cannot do anything or I cannot do anything. Give it some time. After some time, it will be automatically running. And always remember, if the instances are not in use, always terminate it. Otherwise, when it will be chargeable, we don't know. Okay. So if it is not in use, now when we are creating this main server, you click on it, you will get the public IP over here. So see, this is the public IP. This is the public IP. Okay. This is the public IP. Can everybody see this? This is the public IP. Okay, this is the public IP to this particular computer. Right? This is the public IP. Right? So we have created one instance. Now if you want to delete the instance or terminate the instance, you can go to the instance state, you can terminate or delete the instance. Okay, that's it. So right now we are not going to delete this instance or terminate this instance. This is not our work right now. So till here I have created the EC2 instance. Any questions? Any questions till here?
Can we customize the configurations?
You can always customize the configuration. Okay, but I told you, it's chargeable. You can do whatever machines you want. Okay, but it is chargeable. Right? When I created D3 micro, that was not chargeable. That was the free tier. Yes or no? But below that there were lots of other instances also. No, that is customizable. That is, you can do it. Okay, it's customizable. Now, till any more questions?
Sir, what is that my IP sending was the my IP and then from anywhere?
You can access this machine through the public IP from any other.
If I set it my IP, then
You can access from only this computer. You can go and search what is my IP. You will get your IP. Okay, or you can give IP config in the command prompt, and there also you will get your public IP before. Right? That is our personal IP for this particular this system. Okay, got a hardware. Okay, you can put it over there. It will be accessed only from this particular one. You can customize that also. Right? So next is, once it is done, you have to connect it. So when you click on this connection, so connection can be done in two ways. The first one is called EC2 instance connect. Now this EC2 instance connect, you have to be very careful. Like you can see the public IP address over there, and you can see the username. My username is Ubuntu. This is the username. Okay, Ubuntu, and here you can simply connect. Now if you click on this particular connect, if you click on this particular connect, you know what will happen? Nothing will happen. It will actually, it is what will happen? One browser will open, and in that browser one terminal is integrated. Okay, so browser based integrated terminal, and you will be able to write the commands over there. This is the first thing. Okay, and the second one is through SSH. SSH. Okay, so I always prefer SSH, but it's totally your choice. If you want, you can connect with a single button click, connect, done. That's it. Right? So this is basically connecting through EC2 instance connect. And the second one is by connecting through SSH. SSH. Now when you connect through the SSH, can you see there is one example? There is one example. What is the example? You can see SSH-I. Okay, you have to write, you have to look for this particular pen. This is the key with which you want to connect. Okay, and Ubuntu is my username. @ this is the DNS. Okay, this is going to be the example with which you are going to do the SSH. Okay, so first we have to locate in our system where you have downloaded that key. So where is my key? Where is my key? It is in the download folder. It is in the download folder. So here you open your command prompt or PowerShell, right? And just copy this instance. Just copy this command, copy it. Okay, so I am in downloads folder, and here I have what? I have that key. So you just right click. Okay, and you just hit enter, and it will tell you to add the fingerprint. You just give your yes in small. Hit enter. that SSH. Yeah, through SSH I'm accessing that machine because see, my user is this one. And what is the public IP address? 172.31.15.80. 172.31.15.80. Right?
That is the instance of your
Yes.
IP of that.
Yes. Yes. So see, 172.31.15.80. Given. So am I accessing this machine? Yes or no? Of course, yes, I am accessing. And the second one will be using this. If you want to connect on that. The second one will be, you just go for EC2 instance connect. This also I am showing you. If you just click on this, one browser will open. And one terminal will be integrated. And automatically it will be connected. So you can connect in two ways. You can connect it in two ways.
Sir, what is the reason that they are using giving you two options?
You can, it depends upon you, na? Okay, Amazon is not new. So previously SSH was not that easy. Okay, today it is easy, na? We are just working. Previously this was used. This is always there from beginning.
Is there any security reason?
No, security reason.
Simply choice of.
It's totally your choice. Okay, so establishing connection, here also you will get the same thing. And you know they will mention the private IP also and they will mention the public IP address. Okay, the both way you can do. Right. So anyone, it's totally our choice. Now moving to the next part. We have done the OpenSSH. Okay, we have done the SSH. Now after doing this SSH, now suppose we are actually okay, that's it. So it's totally Linux based, right? So let's log in as a root user. Okay, if you want, you can log in as a root user. This is not compulsory, but it's optional. It's totally, it will be beneficial for you. Okay, so how to log in as a root user? Okay, so I am logged in as a root user. Okay, so after just logging in as a root user, see I have written what you have to do, apt-get update. Now you don't have to use sudo. Okay, you don't have to. You are already logged in as a root user. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to update the system. Okay, you have to update the system. So how to update a Linux? Ubuntu. This is the command. Right. Just update the system once. You update the system. This is basically updating the packages. Okay, it is updating the packages. Now once it is updating, let it get updated, right? So it is getting updated, let it get updated. Once it is updated, it will stop. So let me install something, right? Let's go for Nginx. We know it is a web server, na? Nginx. So let me check whether Nginx is installed or not. If it is not installed, of course it is not installed because I created a new machine, na? So it is not installed. I will install Nginx and after that again I will check. Okay. So how to check whether Nginx is installed or not? So you see here.
You are actually now making your system as a web server.
Yes. Right. I am just installing a server. Nginx I am installing. Okay. You can install Apache also. If you are familiar with Apache, you can go for Apache. Right. So let's check first. -t. So Nginx could not be found and it is telling apt install Nginx. Okay, apt install Nginx. So apt-get install Nginx. So yes, I want to install it. So you can see Nginx is actually getting installed. Nginx is getting installed. So I am installing a web server. Right? I am installing a web server. So I installed a web server, Nginx. Right? I installed Nginx. Now let's check. Let's start Nginx. So the command is systemctl start Nginx. So this is basically the command to start Nginx server. Okay. And after that, systemctl enable status Nginx. Now again check the status of Nginx. It is telling active and running. Is it telling? It is active and running. Nginx. Yes or no? It is active and running, no? Right? Okay. So we have installed Nginx on our system. Which system? Are we installing it on our local system? No. We are installing it in the system which we have rented from AWS. Right? From the AWS system. Now that's it. That's it. Done. Right? So perfect. So here. Okay, that's it. Now let's move to the next one. Now we have checked the Nginx status, each and everything. Now what is the public IP for this particular machine? What is the public IP? This is the public IP? Yes or no? This is the public IP. So HTTP colon, if I just place this, what happened? What is the public IP? The internet is a bit slow.
We want to have the Wi-Fi.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let me close all this. I think the instance is disconnected. Maybe.
Sir, you are actually now going to use it as a platform as a service.
Yes. I just changed the internet connectivity. I don't know. Let me see. Let me refresh this page. It is disconnected because the connection was reset. Okay, connected once again. Okay, so let's move ahead. So let me just so that's it. It is running. Okay, it is running. Now let me customize this. Okay, let me customize this. Let me customize this. Now, what is the public IP address? So, this is the public IP address. Okay, let it open. That's it. Now let us customize this. For customization, So you can do one thing. Either you can create the web page on the system itself on AWS, or you can also upload it from local system. So if you want to upload anything to a server from local system, we have one option. You cannot do it directly. It is called SCP. You have to do SCP, secured copy. Without SCP, it is not possible. Without SCP, it is not possible. So we know Ubuntu. Everybody knows Ubuntu. So it's very easy to go for sudo nano, right? The name of the file, paste the code over there, save it and do it. So let's do it in the local system. Okay, let's do it in the local system. So suppose here I will visit HTML CSS code. Suppose some HTML CSS code I am going to take it from W3 schools. Okay, I am going to take it from W3 schools. I don't need to write now HTML, CSS and all these things. Okay, so suppose if I just go for here, try it yourself. So then it is looking something like this. So this will be okay for us. Okay, let's copy this code. Let's copy this code. Okay, and I will open the notepad. I will open the notepad. I will paste it over here. I will save this file to the downloads like index.html. Okay, and all types. I just saved this. So now this is a HTML file saved in my local system downloads. Okay. Now what I don't require all these things right now. Now this thing I am not going to do. Okay, this thing I am not going to do. Why? Because I am going to do SCP. SCP. Upload it from your local computer. I am going to do SCP. So I have connected to my instance. Okay. I have connected to my instance. Right? Okay. I have connected to my instance. Now, if you want to do SCP, secure copy, if you want to do SCP, what you have to do? You have to write the command SCP hyphen I. Okay. Hyphen I. Now, the name of the file, that is the key. The key. What was the name of the key? What was the name of the key? The name of the key was what? The name of the key was day1.pem, no? Yes or no? The name of the key was day1.pem. So see, I have written the syntax. So day1.pem, right? And then you have to write the name of the file, index.html, right? Okay. And then you have to pass the username. The username at the rate. What is your EC2 instance? So go to the connect part and here see. Can you see this one? This is the DNS, and where you have to upload? You have to upload it into the temp folder. What you have to do? You have to upload it into the temp folder. So it is telling no such file index.html. Wait. We have to do this one now. So let me write the command once again. SCP hyphen I day1.pem Ubuntu @ the name of the file, right? Ubuntu @ the DNS, okay, :/tm. Now it will work. So let's hit enter. So you can see it has been uploaded. Yes or no? It has been uploaded, right?
What is the problem, sir?
The problem was that I was doing it from my, I was actually already connected to the instance. So how can you do that? You are doing SCP from local, no?
Local system.
So now I am in the local system. Previously I was connected to the Ubuntu.
I could not understand, sir.
Previously I was connected to the instance.
Yes.
I was working as a root user. So how you can do the SCP?
Okay, that for SCP you have to connect to the from local.
Yes, of course, because we are copying from local to
From local
the
to
server, no?
server.
That is called SCP, no?
Okay.
Yes. So We are logged in as a root user. So let's move. So it's already moved, right? It's already moved. Now let's move to the browser. And here, what is the IP address? What is the public IP address? This is the public IP address. So http:// hit enter. http:// So I'm facing some problem, means it's telling the site cannot be reached. What is the reason? Just a second. This is the main server. Open address. Open address.
Sir, from this instance, FCP
Ah.
instance, can you ping that web server?
Yes. I will show that pin point. It's connected, but let me see what is the problem. Oh. The main problem is that did we allow HTTP and HTTPS? When I was creating a security group, did we allow the HTTPS? Did we allow? I don't think so. Did we allow the HTTPS? The answer is no. We didn't allow the HTTPS. That's why it is so easy. So you have to be very careful while creating the instances. Hardly can I take 2 minutes? I will just take 2 minutes. Okay, to do the thing. Okay, not more than this. So let it get running, no problem. Let me create an instance. So demo server. Okay, we are creating a one instance, and here I am taking a Ubuntu machine. Right? Let everything be same as it is. Don't have to do anything else. Let's create a new key value pair like demo key. Okay, let it be as demo key. Let's create the key value pair. It's getting downloaded, right? And here you have to allow this now. Did you allow this? No. So no problem. We will launch this instance. It will hardly take 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, less than that it will take. Okay. So let's go to the instances, and in the instances you have to click on this connect. So go for the SSH, right? In this SSH, let's copy this. Okay, let's copy this. Let's get out. So let get a root user. So sudo hyphen I, yes, root user, apt hyphen get update. These things are nothing, it's nominal. Okay, so that's it, it's done. Nginx, we don't have Nginx installed. So apt hyphen get install Nginx, apt hyphen get install Nginx. Okay, so Nginx installed. Systemctl start Nginx. So started. Systemctl, let's enable Nginx. So it's enabled. Okay, now that's it. So we have to check the status. Now let's go for system systemctl status Nginx. Okay, so is it active? It's active, right? So what we were actually doing, that's it. So now let's do one thing. So till here it is done now. Now let's go and see what is the public IP address. What is the public IP address? Click on this EC2 instance, copy this public IP address. Okay, now go to this and just paste it over here. Go to instances. Wait. We are again making a mistake. I think we just remain connected to the previous one itself. Just give me 1 minute. So demo server. Let's click on SSH. Demo key. Yeah, now we are connected. Okay, now we are connected. Okay. So no Nginx installed. apt get install Nginx. So installed. So systemctl start Nginx. Systemctl enable Nginx. So enabled, right? Enabled. Now just look at the status. Systemctl status Nginx. So it's activated now. Now the next task was we have to do what? We have to do SCP, right? This was the last work. So that's it. So that's it. Now this is the command now. SCP hyphen I and the path to the key, right? The path to the key. So what was the path to the key? I think it was demo key, right? Demo key, no? Demo key. So demo key dot pem, right? And the name of the file is index.html. Okay. Ubuntu @ So this is the DNS. Now copy this, that's it. Uploaded, right? Uploaded. Now let's copy this particular command, right? And let's do the SSH. So that's it. Done. Sudo -i, right? And in the temp folder cd dot tmp. No, it was cd tmp. Okay, ls. So we have index.html, right? We have the index.html. Now you have to move it to the root folder of Nginx. You have to move it to the root folder of Nginx. Yes or no? Move it to the root folder of Nginx. So done. That's it. We have moved to the root folder of Nginx. Now once it is done, let's go to the instances. And here you can see the demo server. We have saved to the demo server, and in the demo server, this is actually the public IP address. Yes or no? Now you just go over here and just do one thing: http:// paste it over here, and you see. So we didn't allow the HTTP traffic. How it will work? Yes or no? We have to allow the HTTP and HTTPS traffic. So this was the file that I created just now. So see, we allowed the HTTP and HTTPS. So it's working fine. So I just did SCP. That was a tough part because everybody knows how to create a file in Ubuntu and how to paste the files. Okay, and we know all this SKWQ, enter and all these things. We know all these things, right? So I did SCP. This might not be known, or when it is known, it is my task. So I did it. So this part is clear to everyone. Now we created two instances, one is the main server and the other one is the demo server, right? And we did the work on this. Now, today I am going to use one tool called Ansible. I just raised one question. Okay, I just raised one question in the while doing the theory part. Okay, and the question is that suppose there are multiple servers and there is one master server. Now, if you are able to connect with the master server to the multiple servers, okay, so and you want to install some softwares or if you want to go for some configuration settings, not installing software or not particularly like this, if you want to go for configuration management, so how to configure those servers, those multiple servers? Either we have to approach it individually and we have to configure those servers, right? So this is basically the only thing available to us. But is it feasible? That is possible, but is it feasible? It is not feasible, because if the number of servers basically grows to suppose 100 and there is one master server, and in one master server, here we have one master server and in total hundreds of servers are actually connected to it, right? So if there are 100 servers, so is it possible to install software or manage the configuration of those 100 servers individually? It will take a lot of time, isn't it? It will take a lot of time. So there is one configuration management tool, and this tool is basically called Ansible, and I will make use of this Ansible tool in order to manage. I will not create 100 instances, I will create one master server and there will be suppose 3 instances, 3 or 4 or whatever. Okay, I am showing you how to connect one master to 3 servers. Okay, so I am making a use of this Ansible. So Ansible is a very renowned tool. Apart from Ansible, okay, some other tools are also there, right? But renowned in industry, Ansible. Okay, no question on Ansible. It is highly used as a configuration manager, right? So we are making use of Ansible. So here I don't have physical machines, right? So I don't need to buy also all those things. So what we have to do, we will make use of AWS EC2 instance. Okay, so this demo server I have already created, isn't it? Demo server I have already created. Let this demo server act as the master server. Let this demo server act as the master server, or you can also create one more server like master server, but let it act as a master server. Okay, no problem with it? No problem. My demo server is going to be the master server, and I want to create 3 more servers. Okay, and I am going to manage those 3 servers. For your practice, you can create 300 servers, but right now we have short limited period times, so we will do basically what? I will create 3 instances. So let's go to this. Okay, go to the action. Here you will find image and templates. Okay, and here launch more like this. Launch more like this. So everything will be same. Everything will be same. Now please wait for some. Everything will be same. You don't have to do anything else. Okay, everything will be same. Everything will be same. No need of changing anything. Right? No need of changing anything. And the required value is demo key itself. Now let's do one thing. Don't have to change anything. But here the number of instances you will create is 3 more. Yes, 3 more. So one is the demo server which is acting as the master server, and we are going to create 3 more server like it. Okay, and here simply launch the instance. Simply launch the instance. Now let's go to the instances. So here you can see what happened. So total 4 servers has been launched, right? All the servers are basically running. Now let the last server be the demo server, that is the master one. You can change the name of this as, suppose, server 1. Okay, or make it as server 1. Okay, and make it as server 1. Change this to server 2, suppose, and change this to server 3 suppose. Server 3. Okay, that's it. So this is the demo server. Demo server is my master server, and these three are server 1, server 2, server 3. Right? So we are going to make use of a configuration management tool, and the name of this configuration management tool is Ansible. We are going to make use of Ansible. Okay, it's a configuration management tool. Right? Now, so 4 EC2 instance, 3 as a server and 1 as the master server. Now we are going to connect via SSH. Yes.
Sir, you told me that that demo server is going to be the master server. Okay. So how this and after that you have created
3 more servers.
So how this particularly demo server is going to be the master?
No, you are considering it. Suppose here you have a physical machine, okay, and 10 other machines. How you are considering this machine as the master? How you are considering this machine as the master? How this machine is going to act as the master?
Because that machine was first installed.
No. That machine was first installed. No. You can consider any machine as the master, no? You can consider any machine as the master, right? You can consider other machines as the client. The master machine is actually the machine which is actually used to configure those client machines. Okay, maybe the configuration of those machines, of the master machine, much more higher compared to the other machines. That can be done.
Right. But sir, if all the machines configurations are same, then how I am going to select that particular system as a master?
No. Here we are just, why we are doing this? Because we are assuming it as a free tier, no? I am showing everything as a free tier. I never told that this server master is going to have the same configuration as the client. The master server, it cannot have the same configuration as the client. You can change as per your needs.
But sir, you have created that demo server and you have created all the instances like the same.
Same.
So there is no difference between that actually you have told the master server with the other clients.
But it is never told that master server must have a configuration higher than the client. It is not told, na? Is it 100% that your master server must have the highest configuration compared to the client? Is it? So I have created as per the convenience. I have created all the machines. I have just created a single machine, or I considered one machine as the master, rest is going to be the client. Okay, if you want, you can change the configuration of the demo server or the master server. If you are basis on the infrastructure, if you are thinking on the basis of the infrastructure, you can change the configuration. If you think that your master server is going to be much more powerful, yes, you are absolutely correct. Definitely a master server should be much more powerful. Okay, but whatever it is trying to configure, okay, so that particularly power or the processing power should also be there in the client. Otherwise, how it is going to manage the configuration? Right? So here the hardware or the infrastructure configuration, it doesn't matter whether you are having the same configuration as the client. It doesn't matter. I have created 4 machines, everyone has the same configuration, no? It will never hamper. Okay, I am telling you, it will never hamper. If it hampers in between, okay, you can raise the question. But it will never happen. Right?
Actually, sir, you have just told that that demo server is the
Yes.
going to be the master.
Master server.
Okay. And now you
We have created 3 others. Let them be as the client. Let them be as the client.
I am going to assume.
Yes. So here we are creating virtual servers. No? So you have to consider one as the master. If it has been the college campus, then one with you will be the master one, rest other will be the clients. Okay, this is the concept. Isn't it? My task is how I am managing all those clients with a single server. Because running to all the clients, it is not possible. I cannot run, no? I cannot run, you cannot run to every client. You cannot go to every client, I cannot manage the configuration. Is it feasible? No. It is possible but not feasible. So that's why I created 4. You can change the configuration as per your choice. No problem with it. If you want, the master should have a higher configuration, but whatever I am going to show, okay, this will never create a problem. Maybe if you are doing something else, it should require a higher configuration, then you can configure as per your choice. Okay, but it will never cause a problem with the infrastructure that I have created right now. It will never cause a problem. Okay, because these things are written, it will never cause a problem. But yes, you are absolutely right that it can have a higher configuration if you want to do some connect via SSH. So which one we are going to connect? We will connect the master one, na? Via SSH. Are we going to connect the client? No, we are going to connect the master via the SSH. So which one is the master? Here the master is this server. This server is the master. Let's click on this connect. Okay, we clicked on this connect. This is my command, right? And the demo key demo key.pem, right? This one. So simply just start the command prompt. Okay. Simply start the command prompt, and that's it. Done. So yeah, perfect. So we are into our master. Okay, the EC2 instance. Now what I have written over here, after connecting to the system, right? After connecting to the system, you have to do few things. First of all, you have to install Ansible tool. So in Ansible, it is the configuration management tool. Okay, lots of other tools are there for configuration management, but Ansible is the latest, mostly used. Okay, mostly used in industry. So we are just making use of this particular command. Okay, I will share this. Okay, commands are very easy, you just need to remember. So what you have to do, right? You have to basically go for sudo -i. You can log in as a root user, doesn't matter. Okay, and you just, oh my god, you don't require this, but let me cancel. So what it is, so if you are using sudo over here, na, okay, if you are using sudo over here, you don't need to log in as a root user, or if you are logged in as a root user, you don't need to use sudo, right? So let it be a normal user, and here just enter. So that's it. It is telling to press enter. So that's it. Let it be done. So before installing Ansible, what you have to do? You have to go for the adding the repository of Ansible. This is the command. Okay. Then what? Sudo apt update. Yes or no? Sudo apt update. Let it get updated. After that, what? Simple. Sudo apt install what? Ansible. Sudo apt install MySQL-server. Simple. So sudo apt install Ansible. Sudo apt install Ansible. That's it. Let's Ansible get installed. So yes, we want to install Ansible. So Ansible is installed. If you want to check the version, how we check on the Windows, same thing here also. The name of the software space -- version. Okay. So let it get installed. It will take bit time. Okay. So doesn't matter.
Sir, it apni demo server mein install.
Yes, master. Okay, master. Because that master is going to ping all those local servers, na. My task is not to install on those clients. My task is to manage this server right now. Okay, this master server. Yes, master server. With this, I am going to configure all those. Right? It means I don't have to run on all those softwares, those machines. I don't have to run. Okay, so first you need to install Ansible where? On your master. Okay, with this you are going to configure all the systems. Right? So we are installing it in our right now. We are going to install it in our demo server. So that is our master server.
Sir, একটা জায়গায় কি আপনি আগে লগ আউট করলেন
কোনটা?
আগে লগ আউট করলেন না?
হ্যাঁ, লগ আউট করে দিন।
লগ আউট কোথা থেকে করলেন?
লগ আউট এখান থেকে করুন।
মানে মাস্টার সার্ভার থেকে?
হ্যাঁ, মাস্টার সার্ভার থেকে। আমি তো সুডো দিয়ে লগইন করেছিলাম। আমার কমান্ডে আমার সুডো লেখা আছে। আইদার যদি আপনি সুডো আই করেছেন, if you are logged in as a root user, you don't need to use sudo on any of the commands.
Yes, sir.
Linux, Ubuntu, basic. And if you are not logged in as a user, root user, then you use sudo. Otherwise, for every file accessing, you have to give a permission. chmod to this part, chmod. Okay, chmod 400, the name of the file. 600, name of the file. 700, name of the file. Now, what this 400, 500, 600 means? You have to just go to the Linux commands and you have to very easy. No problem with this. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, it's only Linux command, or even I will give that commands. Okay, it is very easy. That is no problem. Okay, so I just logged out from here. Okay.
লিনাক্স আমি আসলে এটা ইউজ করি। সেটা
আচ্ছা, না লিনাক্স আমার মনে হয় যে লিনাক্স there is Ubuntu, there is CentOS. Okay, I prefer Ubuntu. Okay, so if you are comfortable on CentOS, so just there will be minor difference. take a bit time. Now, so we have installed Ansible, and after that we will check the Ansible version. Now, once the Ansible version is done, once the Ansible version is, it means Ansible is installed. Yes, see, it is installed. Ansible is installed. Now check Ansible space hyphen version. So you can see Ansible version is how much? 2.18.7. This is installed. So it is pretty easy, and we have done lots of things. Now Ansible is totally made, you know, on what? Ansible is totally made on Python programming language. Okay, Ansible is made on Python programming language. It is made on Python. Okay, it is totally built on Python. Now what we have to do, we have to copy the PEM key and go to the EC2 master control and write the command. We have to go to this particular folder. Okay, this is the folder. This is already present in our EC2 instance. So how to go? Simple, like Windows, change the directory. So cd.ssh, we are into SSH, ls, list the file, nothing is there. Okay, nothing is there. Now what you have to do? We have to copy this demo key. We have to copy this demo key. This was our key now. This is the key. Now if you want to connect all the clients with the master, so will the key be different or will the key be common? The key will be common because this master is going to connect to all the clients. So this is the common key. So I have taken all the key. Right? I have taken the key. Now the code, see here, what you have to do, cd ssh sudo nano ansible key, right? Sudo nano ansible key. Why? Because you have to create a file over here. So sudo nano, let the name of the file be ansible key. Okay, done. You copy the whole code from here, copied, and simply with the paste it over here, right? And simply Control A, enter, Control X, done. Control O, enter, Control X. File will be created and saved. Now if you go for ls, now see, Ansible key file is there. Previously it was not there, now it is there. That means there we have created a file called Ansible key. Inside that we have pasted our that private key, that PEM key. Till here is it clear? Any questions? It is very okay, simple, no problem till here. So right now it is done, perfect. Now what you have to do? Now if the permission is not given, suppose if the permission is not given, are we logged in as a root user? Are we logged in as a root user? The answer is no. So of course the file will require a permission. So you have to give the permission by this particular. You have to give the permission by this particular. Okay, you have to give the permission. Now give the permission chmod 400. Otherwise it will set permission denied. You have to get a permission to read that file. Na? So chmod 400 is for what? For reading. Okay, this permission is for reading in Linux. Okay, simple. Okay. Operation not performed. Okay. Okay, no problem. So it is telling operation not performed. That means it don't require the permission. Okay, don't get worried. If these types of things happen, no problem. I'll solve the issue. No problem. Now let's test the SSH. Let's test the SSH. First, let's test the SSH from the master. Okay, let's test the SSH. It doesn't require the permission. Okay. So if I am given chmod 400, it say that the operation not permitted. Change permission of chmod. Change permission of Ansible key. chmod 400. Okay. No problem. Let it be. No problem. Chalo. No problem. Now let's see. No problem. So let's go to the instances. Suppose this is my demo server. Let's see. I want to connect it to which one? Suppose server 3. Let's connect to server 3. So I will just click on this server 3, and here you will get a public IP address. Yes, public IP address. What is the public IP address? So the public IP address is 65.1.3.68. Hit enter. So it is telling yes, and that's it, done. So you can now connect. You can now connect. Otherwise, if it is not connected, then it would definitely give an error. We have not managed the configuration, but we can connect, na? Connection is possible, yes or no? We can connect. So till here it is successful. Here it is successful. Connection is possible, right? Connection is possible. That means previously it was giving an error. Now it is not, means we don't require the permission over here. So no problem. That's it. Done. Now the next you see, this thing is possible. We have done the SSH from the master to any of the client. Okay. Now here we have to create an inventory file. Here you have to create an inventory file. Now the question arises, sir, what is the inventory file? With the help of mkdir, we will create a directory. Suppose let's create a directory called Ansible, right? Inventory file is the file, okay, in which we will give the configuration of all the clients to the server, which it is going to connect. But there can be multiple groups also. Suppose this group contains all the servers related to production level, and this group contains all the servers related to development. So you can create multiple servers, multiple groups. Inside development groups, all the server IP addresses. Inside production group, all the servers IP address. So you can create multiple groups. I have not created multiple group. I have created only one group. Okay, if you want to say, I can create multiple groups. Right. So in this mkdir, I have created Ansible. You have to go to cd Ansible. You have to go cd Ansible. What happened? cd Ansible. cd Ansible. We are into Ansible, right? Ansible. And how to create a file? Sudo nano, name of the file, hosts. So I am creating a new file. Now this new file will have configuration like this. The new file will have configuration like this. What is the configuration it is going to have? System. Okay. Servers. And let me copy this, and this is server 1 Ansible host. Okay, so server 1 Ansible host means this server 1. Okay, what is the public IP address? This is the public IP address. So you have to delete the public IP address over here, and you have to paste this public IP address. Okay, server 2 Ansible host equal to the public IP address of server 2. Okay, the public IP address of server 2. And that's it. Server 3 host equal to public IP address of server 3. So let's copy this public IP address of system is lagging a bit. Yes, that's it, done. Now, then you have to create some variable. You know why we are creating this variable? Inside this variable, I told you, Python is actually, it is built on what? It is built on Python. So you have to give this Python 3 interpreter. Python 3 is the latest now. So you have to give this Python 3 interpreter. So what is the Python interpreter? /user/bin Python 3. Okay, this is the Python interpreter which you have to give, and once it is done, so Control O, enter, Control X. That's it. Okay, that's it. So till here, any questions? This was my configuration file. This was my configuration file, right? Configuration file, where I have given the configuration of all the servers and I gave a Python interpreter name, right? Now let's check the inventory list. Let's check the inventory list. If you check the inventory list, ultimately what happened? It is telling Ansible inventory not found. So sudo apt install Ansible core. Now Ansible space hyphen version. Ansible space hyphen version. Let's see. I think the Ansible space hyphen version, if you do, so Ansible is not found. These things basically happen. Maybe the system actually is lagging now. It's getting disconnected. If these things happen, right? So I have written over here. I know this problem we will face. So see, if Ansible is not installed, then you have to run this particular following commands. Hardly 5 minutes more. Okay. Let us complete this. If these problems happens, then hit enter. Remove Ansible if any. Okay. Sudo apt update. Sudo apt update. Sudo apt update. Okay. Let's add the repository once again. Let's add the repository. Very simple. Let's add the repository. That's it. Same commands we are running. Same command. Nothing new. Done. Okay. Add the repository. Press enter. Press enter. Okay, just 2 to 3 more commands. Okay, not more. Just 2 to 3 more commands.
Actually, we're again installing that.
This system got disconnected somewhere, or it got lagged. Otherwise, this problem will not occur. Okay. Now sudo apt update. See, now it is not lagging. Okay, I knew this problem occurs basically. Sudo apt install Ansible. So updated. Sudo apt update. Done. And ultimately sudo apt install. Now, so once it is done, you just retry this. Just retry this. You just retry this particular command. You just retry this. Just retry this. You will get all this. After that, we are just going to ping the server. Once we get success, connected to all the server, right? Okay, just copy this. So this is the inventory list. We will try this. Let's ping all the server. We just ইনভেন্টরি লিস্টে সার্ভার কনফিগারেশন গুলো থাকছে যার সাথে আপনি কমিউনিকেট করতে চাইছেন,
ওই আইপি অ্যাড্রেস যেগুলো
আইপি অ্যাড্রেস। all the inventory listed. Okay, that's it. Now let's check. That's it. See, all the children, it is connected. It is giving the IP address of all the children. Okay, it is connected to. So we are doing it in our machines. So now let's give a let's go and let's ping. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. So it's unreachable. What is telling? What it is telling? The public key. The public key. Okay. Public key. So what it is telling? Whom Ubuntu Ansible, right? So let's go to CD. Where did we create the Ansible folder? CD Ansible CD. Did we create the Ansible? This one. mkdir Ansible.
So after CD there will be
I think
space.
it got disconnected, na? Cannot create directory.
Sir, after CD there will be space.
Okay. I did mistake, na? So ls hosts, right? Hosts. So sudo nano hosts is the file over there, present over there. Sudo nano hosts. Yes, it is completely present. So control O and control enter and control X, right? So CD. Now the thing is that we should go to this CD SSH, na? Do we have the file? Do we have that file? Do we have that file? Ansible key? Do we have that file? The answer is no. So sudo nano ansible underscore rm ansible kwey, delete it. Okay, so sudo nano ansible key, and inside this ansible key copy this and simply you paste it over there.
Actually this key was present in authorized key or in authorized folder.
We copy everything. How many times I paste? I think it's only once, na? It's only once, na? So control O, enter, control X. That's it. So now that's it. So let's do one thing. Let's ping all the server, right? Let's ping all the server. So CD. Let's ping all the server. And yes. So for all the three servers, we are getting the ping, right? All the three servers connected from the master server. Yes, all the three servers connected. Now, you said that connection is possible. So, chalo, let's do one thing. Can we do one thing? Let's check the memory of all those three clients from our server. For that, I have written a command, right? For that, I have written the command. Let's check. Is it not copied? That's it. So you can see server 3, this is the total memory, this is the used memory, this is the free memory. Similarly for server 2 and server 1. Yes, so we are doing from what? We are doing from our master server, right? If you go to the second one, let's check the uptime. Let's check the uptime. Okay. Let's check the uptime. Let's check the uptime first. Let's check the uptime. So you can see the uptime. When server 1 is up, server 2 is up, server 3 is up. You can do everything. Now the question arises that, sir, if you want to install some software, okay, you are going for configuration management, no? So if you are going to install some software from one server to the other servers, for that you have to create a playbook. Playbook, the scripting language is YAML. Why YAML? YAML. You have to know, because like Python there is indentation. Okay. So I am not going into playbook right now, but yes, definitely I will show you a simple example, okay, like nano, and inside this I have already written a playbook, okay. I have written a playbook and I am going to paste the playbook over here. Control O, enter, Control X, the playbook is done. What I have written in the playbook? I have written in the playbook that install MySQL on all the server. The hosts are what? All. And become yes means it will not take any, by default it will take as a sudo, means root user. It will install as a root user. And before that it is going to update all the packages, all the caches, and it is going to, this is a human readable format, okay. And this is going to install what? MySQL server, okay, on all the present servers, right. So that's done. So you have to do what? You have to run the playbook first. You have to run this playbook. Okay, you have to run this playbook. Now once you host enter, okay, what it is telling? It is telling, okay, no problem, sudo -i and just run this. Now you hit enter, error, please install YAML could not be found. Oh my god, again the same problem. Okay, this is basically at the root user, okay. If you are becoming a root user, otherwise you have to give the permissions, right? Otherwise no problem it is. Okay, so let's create, we have created a root user. So inside that root, you are going to copy this, okay. You are going to paste it. So Control O, enter, Control X, right? And after that, you are going to run this command. Which command? Run the playbook. This is the playbook command, right? This is the playbook. So chalo, let's run this particular command. Let's hit enter. So see, everything is done. Yes. So yes. Message failed to connect to the host via SSH host verification key. Maybe the host verification key is basically, I think I just pasted the key multiple times.
There is a two folder, authentication underscore key is present, and
Two folders basically become, no? Right? So that's why the server becomes, yeah, it's become here. We don't have time.
অভিষেক অভিষেক টাইম একটু হবে
স্যার একটু টাইম তো লাগবে, কেন কি হয়তো কিটা দুবার তিনবার করে পেস্ট করে দিলাম, বুঝতে পারছি। ঠিক আছে, নো প্রবলেম। এনিওয়ে, বাট দ্য হোল কনসেপ্ট ইউ আন্ডারস্টুড, রাইট? Are you getting the whole concepts? Right? So this is basically the thing, but we just did one thing. Now we just connected to all the three servers. We just checked.
Yes.
Okay, that means our key is not wrong. If the key has been wrong, then how we are connecting to the three servers? Yes or no? The key is not wrong. Maybe there is some problems with this particular command, right? There is a problem with this command. You can run the playbook, right? We have to run the playbook, right? Let's run the playbook once. Let's go for just Ansible underscore key. This one, no? So yes, no, yes. Yes. Type yes. Server 1 is unreachable. Failed to connect via SSH, permanently added to the list. types of problems basically happens. Okay, so you have to, okay, so it's connected. So install MySQL on the servers. So it's installing MySQL on all the servers. Problem happens, okay, maybe your server, that instance, everything is correct, but still that instance may be down. So that much things of problems. See, changed on server 2, changed on server 3, changed on server 1. Right, so installing MySQL. Okay, it's installing MySQL. After that we will verify. Okay, we will verify this. So let's verify using the installations. So let it install. Hardly sir, 1 minute. Okay, so we are installing. So changed server 1, server 2, server 3. So we are installing MySQL server. Because in the playbook I wrote to install MySQL server now. So it is getting installed on all the 3 systems from my master. I am not connected to the 3 system. I am connected only to the master. Okay. So it's installing MySQL server. Hardly it will take. Yes, server 3 also changed. Server 2 also changed, and that's it. Now how you will verify? How you will verify? So the thing is that this is how you verify the installation. You verify the installation. Okay, you verify the installation. So let's do one thing. This Ansible. Okay, now let's verify the installation. Let's verify the installation. Sometimes it causes problem. Let's verify the installation. See. So it is telling MySQL on server 1, MySQL on server 2, MySQL on server 3. If you say that you are verifying the installation individually. If you want to verify the installation individually, why together? This might have questions might arise. So if you want to verify the installation individually, then what you have to give? You have to give the server 1, Ansible server 1. This is the particular formula. Okay, or you can say this is basically the. So see, MySQL is installed. I'm just checking for server 1 now. Ansible server 1 -a. What you are going to check? I am going to check the MySQL space -hyphen version. Right? MySQL space -hyphen version. And this is the private key and this is the Ubuntu host. Right? So if you particularly, if you just disconnect or if you do one thing, no problem. If you just click on this server 2. So okay, suppose server 2, right? And if you just connect to it and just go to the EC2 instance and just go to it. So it is connecting, it is establishing the connection via EC2 instance. I connected on server 2. Did I install MySQL on server 2 manually? The answer is no. So if you just go to manually and here, if you just do one thing, here, okay, just clear it. And here, just write MySQL hyphen server space hyphen version. So you can see the MySQL server space hyphen version. This is the way to check now. Okay. MySQL hyphen version. Okay. MySQL hyphen version. No problem. So MySQL hyphen version. Now hit enter. See, MySQL is installed on server 2. Did I install manually? No, but I installed using master server. So if there are 3,000 servers, with the help of a single server, you can just connect to all and you can install. So this is how beneficial Ansible is. So this was just a simple playbook example using Ansible. Playbook is basically what task you are assigning to the server to do for that particular clients. This is what we call as a playbook. But there the scripting language is YAML. The extension of that file will be YAML. But you have to be very careful while writing the YAML code, because YAML is a scripting language where you have to be very careful, and the syntax would be something like this. So here you can see that 3 is basically the marker script. Like remember when you used to write HTML, the marker script is actually what? Doc type HTML. When you write HTML code, means it is telling what? It is a document type HTML. Right? Here in YAML, that 3 line is basically a marker that it is a YAML file. Okay? The name, this is a human readable code. Doesn't matter. Host, group is all. Otherwise, you can give the particular host. Like you want to install only the production. So you have a production group, suppose PRD group. Suppose the name of the production is production PRD group. So you have to give the production group, PRD group. You will install only on production, not on development. Okay? Become, yes, means this is basically what? It is working as a sudo root user. Okay? The task is name, update apt catch. This, you know what is this update apt catch? This is same. I am giving na apt-get update, apt update, sudo apt update. This is the same. This is the same. Okay? But this is the YAML language. You cannot directly write here sudo apt update. Yes or no? I was doing now updating the packages na. So YAML language it is update apt catch. apt update catch, yes. All the packages will be installed. Next is again a human readable format, that is name, that is install MySQL server. apt, what is the task? The task is MySQL-server. It is same as sudo apt install MySQL-server. Sudo apt install MySQL. But here I have written what? Name MySQL server. This is the YAML language. Okay? And the state is present. That's it. This is the only thing. This is a basic YAML file that we have created. Here the scripting is the YAML in case of Ansible. So this is the scripting language. Right? So till here I have completed the part and nothing extra is there. Any questions?
It is simply like a batch file, right? That's why the commands are written and you run the batch file once and all the commands are
But batch is for Windows, na? It is like that.
Like
Yes, yes. It is like that. But it is YAML. YAML is scripting. Ansible supports YAML. Apart from that, no. Like you want to install Docker. So if you want to install Docker, so is it possible to go to every system and install Docker? Okay, it will take 1 month to install Docker test. Yes or no? So we can do like this. So I just created one cluster, 3 clients, and I just connected to all those clients using a single cluster. If there is 3000 clients, that will also not going to be a problem for you. Okay, you have to just create that Ansible file. Okay, you have to write all the addresses, but that is the only thing you have to do. And the task, if you want to allocate the task, means what you are trying to do, how you are going to manage the configuration, for that you require .yaml. You have to write a YAML. YAML is very easy.
Okay, in both side, can we provide the IPs?
You can provide that piece. Okay, then multiple you have to provide. Multiple you have to provide.
But if I want to install in a specific system, then
With that you can provide the IP, otherwise there is a group. There is a group, you can create a group, inside a group all the IP addresses are given. Okay, this can be done. Any more questions for them? Any questions? Done? So that's it. Till here. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. It was really an interesting session, and finally we have got some practical exposure on cloud. Hope we will try it on our hands-on experience. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Now it is the time for article discussion. The articles will be distributed shortly and you will be getting a form regarding what you have understood very shortly, team-wise.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, for it. Sir.